Hello everyone, today we talk about how to remember what you studied. Remembering what you study is one of the biggest challenges for students and learners around the world. Many people spend hours reading books, watching lectures, or taking notes, yet when the exam comes or when they need the information, their mind feels empty. This situation creates frustration, self-doubt, and stress. People often think the problem is their brain, that they are not intelligent enough, or that they have a weak memory. In reality, the problem is rarely the brain. The real issue is the method used to study. Memory is not about talent. It is about technique, understanding, and practice. The human brain is powerful. It can store an incredible amount of information when used correctly. However, the brain does not remember everything equally. It remembers meaningful, repeated, and emotionally connected information better than random facts. When people study by only reading again and again, the brain becomes passive. Passive study creates an illusion of learning. You feel familiar with the material, but familiarity is not the same as memory. True memory requires active engagement with the information. Understanding is the foundation of memory. If you do not understand what you are studying, you will not remember it for long. Memorizing without understanding is like building a house on sand. It may stand for a short time, but it will collapse easily. When you understand a topic, your brain creates connections between ideas. These connections make information easier to recall. Always ask yourself questions while studying. Why does this happen? How does this work? What is the meaning behind this idea? The more you understand, the stronger your memory becomes. One of the most common mistakes students make is studying for long hours without breaks. The brain gets tired just like the body. When you study for hours without rest, your focus decreases, and your ability to remember drops. Short, focused study sessions are far more effective than long, exhausting ones. Studying for 30 to 50 minutes and then taking a short break helps the brain process and store information. Rest is not a waste of time, it is a part of learning. Another important factor in memory is attention. If your mind is distracted, learning will not happen. Studying while checking your phone, scrolling social media, or thinking about other things reduces memory power. The brain can only focus deeply on one thing at a time. To remember what you study, you must give it your full attention. Create a quiet study environment. Put your phone away. Decide that for this short time, studying is your only priority. Repetition is essential for memory, but it must be done correctly. Repeating the same material in the same way is not effective. This type of repetition becomes boring, and the brain stops paying attention. Instead, use spaced repetition. Review the material after a few hours, then after a day, then after a few days. Each time you review, your brain strengthens the memory. This method works because the brain remembers information better when it is repeated over time rather than all at once. Active recall is one of the most powerful study techniques. Instead of reading notes again and again, close the book and try to remember what you studied. Ask yourself questions and answer them without looking. This process forces your brain to work harder, and that effort strengthens memory. Even if you struggle at first, that struggle is a sign that learning is happening. Testing yourself is far more effective than passive reading. Teaching others is another strong way to remember what you study. When you explain a topic to someone else, you must organize your thoughts and understand the material clearly. Teaching reveals what you truly know and what you do not. Even if you have no one to teach, you can pretend to teach. Speak out loud and explain the topic as if someone is listening. This simple habit can greatly improve memory. Writing also plays an important role in remembering. Taking notes by hand helps the brain process information better than typing. Writing forces you to summarize, think, and select important points. Do not copy everything word for word. Write in your own words. Notice taking is more effective than note copying. When you write actively, you engage your brain deeply. Connecting new information to what you already know makes memory stronger. The brain loves connections. If you can relate a new idea to a real-life example, a personal experience, or something familiar, it becomes easier to remember. For example, when learning a new word, connect it to a story or situation. When studying science, imagine how it applies to the real world. Meaningful learning lasts longer. Sleep is one of the most ignored yet most important factors in memory. During sleep, the brain organizes and stores information learned during the day. Studying late at night without enough sleep harms memory. No matter how much you study, without proper sleep, the brain cannot save the information effectively. A well-rested brain remembers more in less time. Stress and fear also affect memory. When you are anxious, your brain focuses on survival, not learning. Fear blocks memory. If you constantly worry about forgetting, failing, or disappointing others, your performance will suffer. A calm mind learns better. Practice deep breathing, positive thinking, and self-belief. Trust that with the right method, you can improve your memory. Many students believe that studying more hours means better results. This belief is wrong. Quality matters more than quantity. 1 hour of focused, active study is better than 5 hours of distracted reading. Learn how your brain works instead of fighting against it. Use methods that support memory rather than exhausting yourself. Revision is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of smart learning. No one remembers everything after studying once. Forgetting is natural. What matters is reviewing at the right time. When you revise, you refresh the memory and prevent forgetting. Regular revision builds long-term memory. Motivation also plays a role in remembering. When you care about what you study, you remember it better. Find a reason to learn. Connect your studies to your goals and dreams. When learning has purpose, the brain becomes more engaged. Even boring subjects become easier when you understand their importance. Physical health supports mental performance. Drinking enough water, eating healthy food, and moving your body improve brain function. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain and improves memory. A healthy lifestyle supports learning in powerful ways. Everyone has the ability to improve memory. Memory is not fixed. It grows with practice and the right methods. Stop blaming your brain. Start improving your study techniques. Change how you study, and your results will change. Be patient with yourself. Improvement takes time, but it is possible. Remembering what you studied is not about studying harder, it is about studying smarter. Use understanding, focus, repetition, active recall, rest, and belief in yourself. When you use the right method, learning becomes easier, faster, and more enjoyable. With consistent practice, you will not only remember what you study, but you will also gain confidence in your ability to learn anything.